Hi, this is Lieutenant Colonel Rob Kirkland of ROTC Consulting. I'm here today with Stacey and Jack. Jack was awarded a 3-year Advanced Designee Army ROTC Scholarship, and I'm just here today to talk to both of them about ROTC consulting services. So first, Jack or Stacey, either one of you can answer this question. How did you discover my consulting services?
Well, actually, we just didn't even know where to begin with the process. We were really intimidated by it and didn't want to make mistakes. So I found your book on Amazon. And after going through that, we were just so impressed with the knowledge. And when we saw that we could actually reach out and contact you, we said, gosh, we're going to jump at that to have somebody that has your experience and your background to kind of navigate us through.
Right. Yeah, that book can be found on Amazon.com. I have a Air Force and a Army ROTC scholarship book for both of them. So if anybody's interested, you can get it on Amazon.com. So what do you think, Jack, if you're looking back at this process, if you could name a couple of things that you think were the greatest benefits of what I gave you in this process? What do you think?
I think one of the major benefits was that you helped connect me with like a ton of people who are in the Army right now or in ROTC to kind of get that firsthand experience from people who are actually going through it. And then another big help was the practice interviews that we did. Mm-hmm. It really helped prepare me and like not feel so nervous going into my interview with Lieutenant Colonel Hodgkin at SDSU, because I kind of knew what to expect and I was just prepared for the questions that he asked.
Yeah. So who were some of the people that I was able to hook you up with ahead of time that kind of gave you more background on what ROTC and life in the Army would be like as an officer?
I'm kind of struggling with their exact names right now, but one of them you hooked me up with was a lieutenant with the National Guard station nearby, who helped kind of just explain like kind of what the daily life is for a infantry officer in the Army. And then you helped me meet like a couple of ROTC students who are going through it right now, who are in their senior year of college, who helped just kind of explain like what the day-to-day life is and kind of what you do in ROTC.
Right. Well, great. And that kind of gave you the background that allowed you to kind of, know a little bit more about what you were committing to, because it is a commitment to, become an officer and go through ROTC. So it's good to know what you're going to be preparing for. So when you came into your interview with the Lieutenant Colonel at the ROTC program, how close do you think our preparation was to what you saw in the interview or what you experienced in the interview? Are you still there?
I'd say it was pretty much like exact on to what I experienced in the interview. Like most of the questions he asked me are ones that you had said he would have asked. And I was able to prepare beforehand for those. So I was able to like articulately answer his questions without any like pause or like stuttering. And I think it was just a huge help because he even told me afterwards that like it was one of the best interviews he's had so far in his like time of being a professor of military science, which I think was definitely because of the help that you were able to give me.
Well, great. Yeah, and I know you didn't tell him that you'd gotten this preparation, so it's always good. It's always good to keep your cards very close to the vest, there, Jack. So my hat's off to you on that one. What would you say beyond maybe the interview and meeting people? That anything else that you can think of regarding how we work together, or things that where I might have gone the extra mile for you?
Well, I think it's definitely just like the connecting me with other people, because I didn't expect like that extra help from you, because you had to like go out of your time to like search for them and like get their contact info and help give it to me. And I think it was also a big help because you were always available to answer questions. You always responded quickly to any like important questions we had to ask.
Yeah, I seem to remember, we won't mention the ROTC program, but I seem to remember, at times we were having some difficulty connecting with the ROTC program and trying to get information and background, and so that was able to kind of loosen things up there a little bit, kind of help to being able to speak the Army lingo and things like that to people. So Stacey, would you based on your experiences with your son, would you recommend my services to, say, a rising senior who was looking for an ROTC scholarship, whether that be the Army, Navy, or Air Force?
Oh, 100%. You know, honestly, I already have. I went to lunch with a girlfriend whose son is getting right, looking at the same process. And I just said, it's the best thing we ever did. It's a process that, you know, if you're not in the military, you're not familiar with. And to have somebody be able to guide you through, I mean, the result that we got, we could not be more happy. We could not be happier, and we couldn't recommend you more.
Well, great. Well, that doesn't get any better than that, I suppose. Jack, do you have anything final to add regarding regarding your experience or anything that you'd like to any final parting thoughts?
I think kind of what we discussed kind of sums it all up pretty well. But I just definitely want to thank you for like your part in it, because it definitely helped me get the extra mile and actually get the 3-year scholarship, which is a great help.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that will be upgraded to a 4-year, because a lot of them are being upgraded. So, so that's something to keep in mind, that we can talk about offline. But a lot of these 3 years get upgraded. So, it's got a good shot at it.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks so much, Stacey and Jack, for, taking the time out of your day to talk to me and to people out here who may be viewing this tape about the consulting services. And if you want additional information about ROTC Consulting, you can visit my website at rotcconsulting.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.